are listening to GORCAST, you idiot.
Nick Ceppaglia, my boy. Cheers,
Taylor.
dude. We're finally doing it.
Finally doing it. What's up, man?
Dude, I'm so glad to have you here. One of my favorite comics in Austin.
It's good to be here, man.
One of my favorite dudes in general. I'm gonna
See glasses? Yeah.
rock these with you, dude.
I woke up like an hour ago, so we'll just keep the.
You woke up an hour ago?
Yeah.
Me too. I woke up from my second sleep.
I take that back. Maybe 2 hours ago, but still.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Well, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. Just hanging out. It's my day off today, so I'm not doing shit.
They let you out of there, huh?
Yeah, they let me out, but I have to go back because I'm performing tonight.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm never really off. Like.
For people that don't know who you are, you're Nick Ceppaglia. You're an amazing comedian. You work as... So are you a paid regular or a door guy? Are those two things different?
I believe they are different, yeah.
Okay.
Like paid regulars don't have to work there, and they're getting the spots, and they get to go up there. And I don't know necessarily if anybody. I mean, there are people that came from LA are definitely like passed already.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that can call
Like who?
in their availability, like Jeffrey Berner, Dylan Sullivan,
Okay.
Derek Poston, Asana Mott.
Yeah.
Like they're all
Pre-passed.
pre-passed. Yeah. So. I think I don't think the door guys are passed yet. We just we're not passed and paid regulars yet. We're just door guys. So,
But you guys still get to like do a lot of spots.
We do spots, and we still get we go up and do 2 spots every Sunday and Monday. That's the open mic crew show, where the first hour is just like an open mic, and then the rest of the show is just like the crew and then the paid regulars that pop in and out.
Sick. Do you think that you've gotten have you noticed that you've gotten like a lot better since you started working at the mothership? Or
I'm just performing more consistently, because sometimes like in comedy it's just like mountains and valleys. You get a bunch of gigs 1 month, and then like the next 2 weeks you got nothing.
Especially here,
yeah. So I mean, I'm performing more the most consistently I've ever performed, like at a place where it's like consistently good crowds and fun room.
Your style is so fun too.
Yeah,
you have like short, dark, like silly jokes.
Yeah,
and it's just like a lot of misdirection. How do you write? How do you like go about writing jokes?
To be honest, I don't write. Whenever something funny comes to me, I write it down.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just how I've always done it. And so it's definitely like my writing process is slow. I have tried in the past to just sit down and write random stuff out and just journal, but I don't have the consistency on the journaling like I should. I need to get better at it. It's probably something I need to start working on.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't write as much as I should. Because it's just like, man, I'm not writing about comedy, it's like I just feel dumb. I don't know. I've never been a journal person.
Me either.
Like, my stepdad wrote in a journal like every day. And,
really?
Like kept a journal and like accounted for his whole day. And
you would think that somebody in a band or that has to write lyrics. Like I just like I've always kind of hated doing it. Like I like the finished product, when like you're done with a song and you record it and you're like, yeah, that sounds good, but it's like it's like homework for me. Like whenever I have to like write something, it's like PTSD from being
a lot of my favorite thing to do is when you're just hanging out with like-minded people or just people you're having fun with and joking around with, and then you just think, and then just in the talk and just conversation, like things come up, like someone will say something and then that sparks like an idea and you're like, oh shit, and you make the connection. And, so it's just like.
How'd you get into doing comedy? Did you do anything like creative before that, like performative, like music or theater or anything like that?
No, never. I wasn't like, I was in college and high school and stuff. We had public speaking classes, and that never bothered me. I never prepared for my speaches or anything like that. I just go up and I'd pick a topic for the speech, tell the teacher this is what my speech is about. And then I'd go, and then like I'd look up a couple things, learn a couple facts, and I'd just go up and wing it.
You were always comfortable,
and so it was just fine for me. I don't know why. It was just, and I would just BS through the speech and get A's. And then one time I went to a birthday party for a friend at this little bistro called Starving Artist Bistro. It may or may not be still open in Fresno, California.
Fresno is where you're from.
Yeah. And then I went, and there was like an open mic going on, and I was like 27, and I was like, I didn't even know Fresno had comedy or open mics like this. And so talked to a couple of the comics, and then the next week I just went back and I hung out and got to know him a little bit and had some drinks with them. And one of them signed me up. He's like, oh, I just signed you up. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I was a little buzzed, but I was like, you're not going to punk me, some stranger,
Yeah.
I'll get on stage and do it. But I went up on stage and I just told like dumb street jokes, internet jokes, like, why'd the frog cross the road? Because his car was towed. Just stupid shit like that. Like, I just went up and told dumb
dad jokes
and anti-jokes, shit that I liked. And I did that for like a month, and I would go and I'd do it. And then I think I did it for like 2 months, just going to open mics and having fun, and then making friends with all the comics, all the other open micers starting at the time. So then we would go, and someone booked me on a show like in this little rural town called Tulare out at Barmageddon's badass like club out there.
Okay.
Little arcade bar. That's nice. And then I did the show and I felt like shit. And I was like, I talked to another buddy of mine, comic as well, very funny, Aaron Stewart, and we'd been friends for a long time, like even before I started comedy. And he was just like, he's like, do you like doing this? And I was like, yeah. Because I was like, man, I asked him, like, why do I feel so bad? And I was like, I was like, I got laughs, but it didn't seem fun. And he was like, oh, this is a show. It's like, yeah, that's not your jokes. Like, he was like, do you want to do this for real? Like, do you think you could do it for real? I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, just write your own material, stop telling internet jokes, and then give it a real shot. And so I stopped going to open mics for like 6-7 months.
Damn.
Until I thought I had like 3 minutes of material to go up on. And then I went up with like my own, because I knew what kind of jokes I liked. And then so that helped me like go through and think of like how I wanted to write my jokes. And then I would like write and then when
was that significantly different?
Like, it was significantly different. Like I went to an open mic and got laughs on my shit, and that was even 10 times better than just getting laughs at that like as jokes. Cause don't get me wrong, we're in a place that has no scene, no club, just dicking off. Like who cares? Like, but then at the same time I was like, oh, I think I could do this for real. And then I was like, oh, let me try it. And then it's just like, oh, and then after that it's just been no turning back. Like
fuck yeah, dude, you're just sending it.
Yeah, I mean, it literally all started because one person signed me up, and I was like, "You're not gonna punk me."
Yeah. And
then me and him are friends to this day. He moved out here too. Like,
nice.
Yeah, and he doesn't do comedy as much.
Maybe he'll pick it up a little more.
I hope so.
Are you? How did you like? What's the story of how you ended up out here and then eventually going on to Mothership? You know, I know like there was the tryouts. That was actually on my birthday, and I was there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and there was like 50 of the dopest comedians. Wasn't it like 42-minute sets or something?
It was 43-minute sets, and that was after an hour and a half of Secret Show. Like it had already gone on, so there's already like 10, 13 comics on Secret Show that went before us.
So how did you end up? How did you go from doing mics at in Fresno where there's no scene to moving here to being like a door guy / going up all the time at the fucking comedy capital?
Honestly,
Mothership.
So started doing comedy, started going to school at the same time. Went back to school.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Fresno City College, and then I transferred to Fresno State.
Okay.
So I started going to that, and then after like 2 years of like just doing shows around town, because I mean we had no scene, but we had like a small scene. So like there were a couple bookers in town that would book shows at like sports bars or like bars or something like that.
Open mics or shows?
Like actual shows. Like we'd have like maybe 2 shows a month, like one like every 2 weekends, you know. And so I just started getting booked on those shows, and then I would drive to like Bakersfield, which is like an hour and a half away, and do their open mics. Drive to Modesto and Stockton and Turlock and do their open mics throughout the week.
Doing the little Cali road route.
Yeah, basically the whole Central Valley, because it was like Fresno only had a mic like on Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah. So Tuesday we'd go to Modesto, go check out the cigar room that Anthony K runs there. Then we went down to like Bakersfield on either Wednesdays or Thursdays or both, because they had 2 really good mics. And Bakersfield scene was really, their open mics would have like 100 to 120 people there just to watch the open mic. Like,
and they're like good crowd?
Yeah, they're like good.
Supportive?
Yeah, like they're there for comedy. So
nice.
Like there's this place called Timber that a couple of my buddies back home, they run it. And that place it's like a big brewery, and in the back distillery area, they've set up a show, and like they've sold it out like 500 people back there. It's crazy. Like Bakersfield loves comedy. Now they have a really good comedy club called The Well that my friend Daniel Betts, funny guy and great producer and club runner, like he started that club out there, and
fuck yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Building.
Yeah. So we would just travel and do that. So eventually, like I would just be meeting people all over from like LA, San Francisco, not New York, but Sacramento, and then just because of doing shows and hanging out and being funny, people would, can you come to LA on this day and do this show? So that's how I got into like the clubs down there.
Yeah. Also
had another guy, Phil Medina, who kind of took me under his wing and gave me a lot of good opportunities to like perform in clubs, like when I was like 3, maybe 4 years in. So I started doing like the clubs, and I would always have to drive back home to Fresno because I have school or work at like 8 a.m.
How long was the drive?
LA is like 3.5 hours. It's like driving to Dallas and back in one night just to do 10 minutes. You know?
But sitting in traffic for longer, right?
No, I mean that was the whole trip. Like sometimes 4 hours, but sometimes traffic would suck. But most of the traffic was just in LA.
So when you made the decision to move out here, was that just be like everybody else, like as far as like it seemed like comedy was going after COVID, or?
Well, no, because like what happened was right before COVID happened. Like I had like a couple years before that, I had gotten out of like dumped pretty hard, took it pretty hard, and was like pretty much I bought a house in Fresno. I was like pretty much over living there, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move to LA and give this like a real shot. Because I was like at this time.
Oh, so you were in LA, okay.
Or I was in Fresno, so I was like, I want to move to LA and give this a shot. And then COVID happened and closed everything down. So I was like, oh well, fuck. So I just saved up a bunch of money, paid off all my debt, refinanced my house, and then found a renter. And then once like everybody moved, Austin was open and everybody was moving here, and then I was like, that might be a move because it was between like Chicago, Denver, or Austin. Mm-hmm. And then once Tom Segura moved here, I was like, oh, they're moving there, living there. That's like my favorite. I was like, I would. Hoop Tree maybe like to work with those guys, so might as well go to Austin.
You will one day.
And then hopefully.
You're already in the fucking pocket.
Manifesting it, but because I feel like me and Tom would get along, and we'd get along in the way of like we'd see something funny happen or someone would say something dumb, and we just look at each other and be like,
here, pull that mic back just a little bit, or push it towards me a little bit.
Oh, there we go.
It was just kind of like you were chin strapping it.
Oh, but so then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna move out to Austin, and then I got out here and. On the drive out here, I listened to my first episode of Joe Rogan, and it was like started listening to that because it was like a 26-hour drive. I was like, I need something with like length.
That's the perfect thing.
So I listened to that, and then I listened to a couple Kill Tonys because I'd only ever watched Kill Tony once when my friend got on it in LA, and I watched just the part she was on. Yeah. And then I came out here, and the first time I ever saw Kill Tony was live, and I signed up. It only took like 5 times, like 5 weeks, and then I got on. Yeah. And Red Band liked me and gave me Secret Show, and then I killed. And then he just kept inviting me back after that throughout the year. So
you're fucking in.
So I was getting invited back like anywhere from like once every 4 to 8 weeks. I would be getting invited back to secret shows. So people like I was like immediately allowed into Vulcan. Like everyone knew me. Didn't have to like get wristbanded. Didn't have to lock my phone up. So that was kind of cool. And I was just around, and it just like I got on my second Kill Tony, and that was when Rogan was on it.
Oh yeah.
And like a year later, and then I think I made Rogan laugh, and then like 2 weeks later, I got the message from Hassan inviting me from Adam Egat via Hassan Ahmad, inviting me to the audition, and then I went, had a great time. They picked the top 15. I was not in that. I was not in that at all. And so like everyone got their emails saying they got it, and I didn't. And for 2 weeks, I was just like really bummed. Right. And then I was like, well, I just quit like this really good job I had because I figured I'd got this because I couldn't do both because of the timing.
You put all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah, and I bet on myself, and I was like kind of bummed, and then so it didn't happen. So I went and got like a job at Gold's, and like the day I signed my offer letter to get rehired back at Gold's, like Curtis called me and told me that somebody didn't take the job, and I was next on the list. So,
boom, number 16.
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16, baby.
And that's how it happened, man.
I love it.
Because my initial goal was to come out here because my mom and dad are like, well, how long you plan on staying? And so you got to give them some kind of time frame. So I was like, I'm going to be out there a year after Rogan's club opens. If I'm not like allowed to perform in the club like after a year, then I'll reevaluate and see what I need to do with my life. But then fast forward, now I've worked there and I'm there in a bigger capacity than I never thought.
That's awesome, dude. Congrats. I'm proud of you. For whatever that's worth. I'm a nobody, but
man, it's cool, man.
I think it's cool to just I've met in the short. I've only lived here for a year as well, and it's like not very long, and in that short time I've been able to like meet some really cool people like you and like Michael Ridley and stuff, and not to be able to meet people, make friends is one thing, but then to be able to like watch them grow and like accomplish things and level up, that's fucking rad too.
I'm just bummed because you asked me to do your little festival and I couldn't. How was that?
It was so much fun, dude.
Michael fucking fell. I saw that.
Dude, Michael hit his head so hard, and and he posted that video, and I was like too high when I woke up and smoked a bowl, and I looked at my phone, and I was like, everyone's gonna think I'm a fucking asshole because like I didn't help him up. I just like looked like if you play that video, I wish we had we're setting up a TV later, but someday when we have you back, we'll be able to play shit on the TV. But
that was too funny.
Yeah, he smacked his head, and I specifically remember like looking down at him, and I was like, okay, like open.
It
like,
definitely looked like you were like, oh, okay,
I was like,
fine.
I was well, my thought process was like opening with a fall bit, like that's bold. You know what I mean? Like I was like, that's bold, but he's a professional. Like, you know, so I didn't want to like, you know, you reach out to help him and he's like, I'm doing a bit, you know, like I didn't want that to happen. I didn't know what was, there was a lot going on, you know.
That's so funny.
I basically was like on my way to rush into the crowd to like try to make the chatter go down. Cause one thing I noticed was it's hard to get when people are in a metal venue that they always go to for metal shows.
Yeah.
And then you halfway through you go, all right, everybody, keep your phone in your pocket. Like, please be quiet. Respect the comedians. Here's your first comedian. It's like it's hard to bring that energy down to like a comedy show level.
Yeah, it's almost like comedy should like if you are going to do a music and comedy thing. It's like one for like you should probably like at that kind of venue. Probably do like the comedy first to warm just get, as people are coming in or whatever. Maybe which sucks because people are walking. It's really hard to go from like that was like one of the mics that we had back home that would give us 10 minutes when we first started. It was an open mic at this music venue, and they would do a mixed one. So they would do like two musical acts, then a comedian, two musical acts, then a comedian. And like we would like musical acts, everyone would be like, yeah, and then the comics would go up and everyone would rush the bar and start talking. But then like that was a cool place to just get up and learn how to do 10 minutes or like stretch out your time and not rush through your jokes. Because at 3-minute open mics, you're rushing. You're just like, so you don't have the time to like really like pause and do your stuff. But then everyone like there would always be like 2 or 3 people in the very back listening. So you would get like your laughs from like, you'd get like 2 or 3 laughs, and that's how you knew you were killing.
See, I'm still trying to figure that out, dude. Like we went to the Duck last night, and I've been making him go up. He did his second one.
Just doing it.
Yeah.
How was it?
I didn't feel as good this time, but I
don't
understand
worry,
that's part of it.
Yeah, it's definitely part of it, bro. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure. I was talking to Yonder yesterday. He came by and did an episode with us. Like I'm trying to figure out the exchange rate, like you were talking about. Like if you're getting those 2 laughs, like what does that mean? What's the exchange rate for like a real show off like those 2 laughs? You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean it's just different because I mean when you're at open mic like the Duck, like most of those people they're not listening. If they are listening, they're just there listening. They're not really in a comedy mood. They're just like, and if you do get some laughs, in an open mic, like, and they're not from other comics like that, you just know that. Yeah, the normal people do think it's funny, and it's way different because like it's just a whole different vibe. Open mic mindset versus going to a show mindset, 2 totally different vibes. You know, like even at the mothership, like some people are like, "Oh, can we get into Kill Tony?" Like, no, but we got standby for the open mic crew show. Like, I don't want to see open micers. You know, it's like, well, it's only the first hour's open mic.
Well, and it's only the best ones in the city. Like,
I mean, it's all random.
So is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's all
random. It's a lottery.
Yeah, we just random generate it. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes like shit. Last Monday, like I think there was only like 2 people on the open mic that didn't get laughs. You know.
Yeah.
Because when we host it, like we're
the crowds are hot, right?
The crowds are hot, but we also tell them, hey, be real. Don't laugh if it's not funny. Make them earn this. You know? We like. I learned that from Derek Poston. Because I just got to host the open mic the other week or just a couple weeks ago.
He's one of my all-time favorites.
He's so funny.
I think he's one of the most underrated comics right now. Like I think one day he's gonna be like huge.
Yeah, I know.
Like once everybody, it's like people just don't know. Like the masses, the general population of like people that don't like go to comedy shows a lot and aren't super into it, but they like Dave Chappelle, you know, like the normie comedy fans. Once they get a hold of Poston, it's over. It's over.
Because I mean, him and Hassan, they're both
just killers.
I remember because they used to come from LA to headline the little pizza place we had called the Chico's in Fresno. So I remember I didn't know them back then. They would come and I would see them, I would watch them, and then I'd do the open mic after. But they would sometimes stay and hang out, and I was like, that's really cool. Like these LA comics are chilling. And then like I moved here, and like the first night I went out, I was walking around Rennet. I met Tony Castillas and Casey Shorima at a show, and we're talking with them. I was like, "Oh, I'm a comic. I just moved here." And they turned around, and Hassan was right there. And I was like, "Oh, Hassan!" And I went up and reintroduced myself because he didn't know who it was or remember who it was, but it was just like cool to see people like, I'm seeing people that I kind of
that you saw in Fresno.
Yeah, because it's weird. I mean, my scene for the most part is still back home, like all my people I started
You
with.
just went back recently, right?
I just went back, saw friends and family, and did a little Yosemite trip and Monterey trip. It was nice. Took the girlfriend to meet the family, and,
Sick.
it was good.
Have you done any shows in your hometown since you've been, like, doing the Mothership? And
No, I went to an open mic to just see a friend that was there, and he signed me up, so I went up and did, like, just bullshitted for 5 minutes, made fun of all my friends, and or talk shit to all my friends in the audience, because there was, like, it was just all my old comedy friends, and I was like, just like, whatever.
What did you do? What did you used to do? I know because I remember from your Kill Tony interview, but I wanted to talk about your old job because that's super interesting.
Oh yeah.
If you want to talk about it.
Yeah, we could talk about it. I used to work for a mortuary company.
Yeah.
And I used to pick up dead bodies.
That's like the most metal shit ever.
It was pretty metal, dude.
That's fucking metal as fuck.
It was gnarly. I was working at Chase Bank. I was a teller, cashing checks, and these people would come in with these checks that were bigger than mine. And anytime that someone like that looked my age or just closer to my age came in with like a huge check, I would just make a note to be like, who do they work for? And like a couple of them would come in with these checks that were bigger than. I was working full time with benefits at Chase Bank, and these guys would come in with checks that were, twice the size of mine. Like, we work part time, and I'm like, I need this. Like, and I'd look and it was, and I was like, JK Mortuary. I was like, that's wild. And then one day the manager came in to cash his check, and I was like, this seems like an interesting job. And he's like, well, I got a full-time position open if you're interested. And he gave me an application, and then I held on to it. And like literally like 3 days later, one of my very good friends died in a car accident. Oh shit! And it, like really fucked up like the friend group. Yeah. And I was talking to my dad about it, and my dad was like, you just got to get comfortable with death, because it's like the older you get, the more funerals you go to. And so I was like,
real shit from Pops.
Yeah, real shit from Pops. And I was like, okay, bet. Like,
okay, all right. Cool. We loved it. We fuck with death.
Fuck it. All right, cool. So I just filled out the application and turned it in, and they hired me. Like,
wow.
And so I quit the bank, and I started working, and it was cool. It was a cool job. Like, it did pay a lot, but it didn't, because it was only like $25 to like $75 per body, depending on where you had to drive.
You got paid per body?
Per body.
Oh, fuck.
Which, I mean, doesn't sound like a lot, but man, people die all the time.
People be dying, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was on a team of 8 other drivers, and so it would just like, I get a call, then it would go through the next 8 calls, would go to the next one.
So you're picking up bodies like from the crime scene, or from the death scene, old folks?
So the mortuary company I worked with had like contracts with like 90 different funeral homes in California, and then they also had the Fresno PD. So it was like 60% old folks passing away, going to hospitals, sick kids, stuff like that, which sucks. And then the other 40 was just like anything and everything.
I can't stand these anymore.
Anything and everything.
That's crazy. What a weird business model. Like somebody was like, I know what we'll do. We're gonna sell, like, think about all the people that die. Like we got, somebody got high on cocaine and was like, dude, think about it. There's so many people die all the time. Somebody's got to pick those bodies up.
Dude,
Let's get a contract with the fucking PD.
Yeah, and it just made me real morbid, like, which was fun, like, for a while.
You think it affected your comedy at all?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it definitely. My dad would be like, "How was work today, Nick?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was dead. I was kind of dead. All the customers were real stiffs,
Yeah. One of those buttons is the fucking badumch. I think it's like the blue one.
Blue one?
No.
Nope.
Oh, that one worked. That's the X Files. We're trying to.
I mean, it was gnarly. We were just like anything and everything short of shark attacks.
Shark attacks.
Shark attacks. I've seen those for sure. Because people, when you die, poop leaves your body.
Is that true?
Oh,
You've seen a bunch of shit pants from dead folks?
That was probably the nastiest part of the job. That's the part that made me closest to throwing up. Was when you see like shit and.
What do you do with it?
I didn't do shit with it. I didn't do nothing with it.
No, you just pick it up. Pick up the body.
I just pick up the body, and their pants are full of shit, and it's like whatever.
Is it like a lot of shit?
It just depends.
It just depends on how much they had to eat before.
Yeah, it just depends on how full their intestines were. Because just when you die, all your muscles relax, and it just.
I just can't wrap my head around like doing that daily.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean,
so crazy.
So when I got hired, they just gave. Mind you, I'm 22 years old,
right?
Like, I'm selling weed and other various psychedelics and drugs. I was working at the bank. Now I'm not doing that. And they gave me this Suburban, and they're like, here's the keys. We're just going to call you. And when we call you, you have to put your suit on and go to wherever.
You're like an Uber.
Yeah,
for dead bodies.
Death Uber, yeah. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And at that, when they hired me, they didn't say it. And I was on call for 5 days a week, 24 hours a day. So, and then I had 2 days off in a row. So I would just be like, okay, but I was 22, and they just gave me a company car, and like,
it's almost like an ambulance guy that's like on call.
Yeah, but I would
you're
just
picking
like,
up the scraps.
Yeah, but I would just do whatever I was doing. I'd go and I'd do my deals during the evening. We're like in our early 20s. There's house parties and college parties every single night. Yeah. So I'd be going out and getting fucking hammered drunk, getting fucked up partying. Get a phone call, go to the bathroom, snort like a line of coke and sober up, put my suit on, leave for like an hour and a half, and then come back to the party.
And pick up a dead body.
I'd show up to scenes where cars were like flipped over on their sides, like accidents, and some dude's like just lacerated across the face, dead in his seat. And I'm showing up like in the Suburban, like in the freeway shut down, like just talking to cops.
Gacked out.
What's up, John? How's the kids? Hey, Mark, because you see all these cops all the time.
Right. And they're not phased.
They don't give a fuck. Like, they're just like,
so weird.
And you just get there like, hey, guys, what's going on? And like, you're just talking to them.
That's so interesting being that desensitized to death and that kind of shit.
It's wild because, like, I remember, like, the first week, my dad asked me, he's like, so how is it? And I was like, honestly, it's not that bad. No, the only difference between, like, this and TV is the smell. It looks identical. They do a great job of desensitizing you. Like, when you see something like that in real life, you're like, yeah, it's what it looks like in the movies.
Yeah, really.
It's wild. Like
pale and rigged up.
Burn victims, murder, just people.
Did you find people or did you have to pick people up that got found that were, like, there for days?
Months?
Yeah,
the oldest one, the one dude was, like, died on his toilet, and he had been there for, like, 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, which is kind of sad because no one checks on you for some kind of life you live in if no one's checking up on you.
You must be an asshole if nobody... Here, I'm gonna move this over a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, so that one was wild. That was the one that I almost gagged in because he was like died in his bathroom, and it was just like he had been decomposing for 6 months. There were flies covering the windows and the wall.
Maggots and shit.
Oh, yeah, maggots. Like, we lifted him up and grabbed him by his arms, and, like, his arms came out of the socket and stuff.
You're so much more metal than I am. Yeah. You have tattoos. You've fucking seen dead bodies and shit.
Yeah, it's wild.
I should have you write some lyrics.
Picked up kids I went to high school with, picked up little kids, saw a bunch of shit at the morgue that
is crazy.
It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It's weird when you walk into the morgue and on the operating table they've got like a fucking 6-month-old baby just completely opened up.
Filleted open.
Like, and shit. Yeah. Wow.
You've seen some real shit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more than some guys that have been to war, dude.
Yeah, I remember one time I took my friend Chris with me on a call, which we weren't supposed to do that at all. Like, but it was at like 2 a.m. and I had to go to the blood bank.
A ride along?
Yeah, I took him because he was visiting in town and we were hanging out. It was like 2 a.m. and I was like, I got to go to the blood bank, which is just like where they take your organs out and all that stuff. And so it wasn't anything. So
no big deal.
And just take it to the morgue. And it's like 2-3 in the morning. No one's going to see him. So I was like, yeah, come with me. And so I put him in the passenger seat and he like gets in. He looks at the gurneys in the back and he's just like giggling. Like he's nervous giggling. He's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, yeah, cool. And then so like, go and I back up to the door and I'm like, here, just stay here, kind of lean down so no one sees you over the seat. They pull the body out, I put it in the back, I shut the door, and just from that walk from the back door to the other door, I come in and I like get in the car. My buddy's like, like just hyperventilating. He's like, this is wild, man. Like I can't believe you do this. And I was like, yeah. He's like, wait, we're going to the morgue. And he's like, so we drive to the morgue. It's like 2 a.m. Punching the code, open the thing. The morgue is just a giant freezer because they have a new morgue now, but the old one is just a giant open freezer, like this room, just open with gurneys and then shelves on the side.
It wasn't like you see in the movies where it's
wasn't locked. It wasn't individual.
Ours little crypt locker things.
Ours wasn't individual. They were all just put into one big locker. But like on the walls, they had shelves of like decomposition bags that were still up there, and it had said like John Doe from like 10 years prior or something. Like, but then I remember, and then like because the procedure is you go in there. You transfer the body from your gurney over to their gurney. You put a sheet over it, and then you just put it in the freezer. Well, I'm sitting there, and I open the door, and we got the gurney here. My buddy's standing right there, and I'm opening the door so I can't see in the freezer. I'm opening it up so he sees in it, and I swear to God, dude, this is the funniest thing in the entire world because my friend screams so loud. But we get in there, I open the door, and there's just this like 70-year-old butt naked white gentleman who passed away, but it's like when you see it in comedy movies or horror movies and people die. He was in rigor mortis on his back like face, everything. Just scared the shit out of my friend.
Oh my God.
That
would freak me the fuck out.
Oh, dude, it freaked me out. When I looked, I was like, holy fuck. Like, I was like, wow.
Because it almost looks like he's like frozen in time or something.
And so like we put ours and we go back and then we sit there and we're like, he's just looking at me and he's just like, what the fuck, Nick?
That's bizarre.
I know, and at that point, I think I was off in like the next 4 hours. Like my time went off, and I was like, cool. And as soon as like the time went off, I was like, you want to eat some mushrooms? He's like, I'm not eating mushrooms after seeing that shit. I was like,
holy shit, dude. You think about your whole life, that mushroom trip, I could die at any moment.
That's actually when I got into LSD for the first time. Because I'd always wanted to do it.
When you were working with dead bodies?
I'd always wanted, because like I was selling drugs and hallucinogenics, and I was like trying to meet connections and stuff, and I just happened to find a connection with acid, and I bought, and I think I got like 20 tabs from him, and then I think it was like the month of February, and so like every week for the whole month of February, I would like on my day off, my 2 days off, the first day I would drop acid. So like I did acid like once a week for the first or for like a month while I did it, and it was a lot of interesting introspective shit.
You think that kind of altered your brain doing it that much? Or your perspective on things?
Perspective, yeah. Probably my brain being altered.
Because we all know those guys that got weird. That did acid and got fucking weird.
Yeah, and that's so strange to me. Because, I mean, when you do acid, like, there's pre-acid and post-acid you. Like, you're definitely changed. You're different. I feel that way.
Yeah. Well, I've done it, and I don't know if I've just done bunk acid or I just, like, didn't do it enough. I think I've tried to do it like 3 times, and I've never had anything notable happen to me. Like I've never seen anything. It could have just been trash acid.
Maybe
all 3 times.
Maybe you have something with your neuroreceptors that don't pick it up. Do you take SSRIs?
No.
Okay.
And I don't know what it was, but I just like, I've had people say that like they looked at a head of lettuce in the fridge and it was talking to them and shit. And like I've never seen anything remotely like that, like things changing, or like maybe stuff got a little, like the trees looked a little funny, or like the shadows from the lights at night or something.
Also, like it's also more of like what your mind perceives under it. So I mean, like I've seen things looking at nothing, but I've also seen nothing looking at things. Deep. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like for me, it's like you'll just notice like with like mushrooms and stuff, like the breathing and the colors kind of get vibrant. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how much you've ever.
I've done a lot of mushrooms, and I've noticed.
Do you do like the shitty microdosing where I took a couple of grams and we were tripping, or do you sit down and eat?
I used to eat like an. You sit down and eat an eighth like your daddy.
Like your daddy.
Like your daddy. No, I've definitely eaten an eighth before, maybe twice.
Okay.
And then otherwise, it's just like splitting an eighth with somebody or like 2 people and like eating a couple caps, a couple stems. But with the times that I've done an eighth, like I've definitely had I've experienced like an ego death before.
Nice.
Like where I've nice, dude.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah,
ego death's the best.
Well, I think it's healthy because I remember specifically like I just forgot who I was, and I forgot like who my friends were, and like all of the unique things that made me who I am. Like I forgot my favorite color, the music I like everything. I just couldn't think of it, and I was like, damn, like I want that stuff back. Like, is this gonna last forever?
Yeah.
Like, am I just gonna be this like blank canvas of a person? And then I like buried my face in a pillow for a couple minutes in the dark, and then I like woke up and I was like, oh, thank God I have all that stuff back.
Yeah.
Like I recovered that data off my hard drive.
Well,
and
that's
I was
the thing,
like,
is that's what you're doing is an ego death. You're breaking down all those walls you have built up in your viewpoints, and you're breaking them down. You're discarding the bad bricks and replacing them with good bricks. And so you do forget that, but then you build it right back up.
And then it makes you so appreciative of like the little things that make you who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not to sound too like woo woo, but it's like it really did. I was like, oh my God, like I didn't realize that all that shit mattered to me.
Yeah, you have to appreciate things. Yeah. You have to do the gratitude lists and all that stuff. I mean, even like people get stressed out and get mad or get angry. Like I tell my friends all the time, I was like, I don't remember where I heard it from, but it was just like, just go when you're upset or something's bothering you, just go through your gratitude list in your head, because you can't be mad when you're being grateful. It's hard.
So that's good advice.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
What are you grateful for, Nicholas?
Grateful for a lot. I'm grateful for everything right now. I mean,
life is wild.
Life is crazy
for me.
Yeah,
life is
I don't know. This is the first time that I wasn't ever just going with the flow and just doing what I was told to do, and I was doing something for me, and it's been working out. So I mean, I'm very happy with.
You're breaking the rules and paying your bills with it. You know what I'm
saying? Well, yeah, I'm trying.
I love it.
Hopefully bills will start getting paid with just straight comedy and not being a door guy soon. But
yeah,
we're working on that. It's a slow process. But
so are you? What does that look like? Like, what's the next step? You know what I mean? Like, if you're, because a lot of people would just probably be like, I fucking did it. When they're where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, it'd probably be easy for somebody to grind open mics for years and then like finally do the open mic at the Mothership enough times that they're like, oh, we're hiring a door guy, and then you get in there and it's like, I made it. You know what I mean? Like, I could just sit here for.
Well, I mean, yeah, you think that, but then at the same time, is you like, we all thought that. We're like, oh, we made it, you know. But like we're everybody that I work with is great, funny people. You know, we're all funny.
It's like so stacked.
It's stacked. Like
it's so stacked.
But so we. Like, at least for me, and I'm sure other people have realized, because we know we've had these conversations, is like, this is just like the first step. Like, we're on the highest totem right now, but we're the lowest. We're on the highest totem pole, but we're the lowest.
It's like graduating high school and going to college, and being a freshman again.
Yeah, so that's I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, I didn't even feel like, I mean, I've been doing comedy like 8 years, but I mean, even when I moved here, it was like. I felt like this was like the first year of me actually like going for it, doing it. Because the rest of the time it was just hobby shit, something to do. Because Fresno has nothing to do, so we would go and do comedy.
Fresno, dude. Yeah, I've been to Fresno like twice.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, actually, it's pretty nice.
The first time,
it's so nice, but there's nothing to do. It traps you.
The downtown little area is super cool. Maybe not downtown, but like. I don't even know where it was, but it's like this little
street called the Tower District.
Maybe
all the bars. Like
all the bars and shit.
My house is in that neighborhood.
All those little buildings, and it's like a strip, right?
Yeah, it's where my house is at.
Okay, sick. Yeah, we hung out over there. It was cool. We played
Strummers.
We played a show. What?
Did you play at Strummers?
No, we played. So the first time we were there, dude, we were like horrified. It was like so long ago, but we were played at this place called like the Y. It was like the YM, the youth. Athletic, it was like something.
Oh yeah, I know.
Downtown.
I went to a lot.
Scary, crusty, bro. And all the guys, we were like our band was like a little different. We were under a different name, and it was called Sisyphean Conscience. So that it was like too hard to spell or read or say. So they were already mad at us. Like these like meathead hardcore kids were like already mad at us. And then we weren't playing like a bunch of breakdowns. Like we were just we were playing like melodic, like fucking like metalcore stuff. Yeah. And they were just looking at us like you better give me something to fucking beat ass to, or I'm gonna come up there and take you off the stage.
You don't give me a reason to punch this girl in the pit right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that place was so crusty. We like we threw. I remember specifically one of our guys in the other band, they were throwing away their piss bottles from the road. You know,
funny, yeah.
Their water bottles that they pissed in, and then like a second later, there was like a homeless dude pulling them out of the trash and like dumping the piss out.
Yeah, they're ruthless. They want that plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's I started off like music wise, like my mom listened to the radio, like a lot of R&B and stuff, and then my dad listened to like classic rock, and so I grew up on that. And then when I got into like middle school and stuff, like just listening to like rap as it was getting like coming out, and then listening to metal as from like 16 to like
what rap and what metal.
I mean, it was just like, you know, like Nas, Biggie, Puff Daddy, like that stuff. Like they're just radio rap, you know. Yeah. And then I got into like punk music in like middle school, like hardcore punk music. Was a little punk rock kid with all the studded vests and all that, going to like Casualties. And
did you have a mohawk?
I never had a mohawk.
Did you want one?
Yeah, but like I never really tried to do it. I just had like spiked hair and would do like the little tiny like Liberty Space. My hair was like the same cut that it is now, but
the little Sum
my
41
parents weren't like you can't go like crazy. You couldn't dye my hair different colors or anything like that. But they would let me like style.
Come on, Dad.
I know there. So we did that, and then I skateboarded for a long time. So I would just like live at the band's Warped Tour every year.
Oh yeah.
Because I was also like I was good enough to have a lot of fun skating. And I skated with a lot of kids that were good enough to be sponsored by local shops. So I got flow from like a lot of the local shops.
What does that mean?
Just they'd give me like a free board every now and then. Cool. Or maybe, you know, I need new grip tape. They'd give me some new grip tape.
Were you like skating on the half pipe at Warped Tour?
Yeah. So they would let me go in, and because of that, I would be able to go to Warped Tour and go to like where you sign the waiver and just be like, hey, I'm here with this skate team, this local skate team. And they would let me just skate the demo. So all I'd have to do is how that worked. I'd just go skate the little mini ramp and then and just leave and go watch whatever bands I'd want to watch and then come back.
What were some of the bands you watched at Warped?
Oh, so many. Like, I mean, from super punk all the way to like kind of emo to like more metal. The most metal they really had at the Vans Warped Tour, really. So my first year I just went to watch, and like Blink-182 was there. Good Charlotte was there, which was hilarious. Sick, I think I was like 14. Yeah, I think I was like 14.
That shit went so hard when we were kids.
Yeah,
dude,
it was gnarly. I was like 14 when that came out, and then after that, it would be like I'd go and watch like Protest the Hero.
Oh, sick.
I really loved them.
You got good taste, buddy.
Yeah, and then metal wise, like they weren't ever there, but like After the Burial,
dude, that's like my favorite band.
That's my favorite one.
No way.
That's my favorite.
Fuck
metal
yeah,
band.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
that shit is so sick. All their albums are good.
Now that we toured with Born of Osiris, that
my buddy Matt used to play drums for them.
For Boo?
Matt Davis, yeah.
Matt Davis? I don't know.
Yeah,
I only know Cameron as the
or
drummer.
not Born of Osiris. Sorry, I'm thinking of O Sleeper.
Oh, Sleeper.
Yeah, my buddy Matt used to drum for O Sleeper, but they toured with them as well. So.
Now that we toured with Boo, I have a hit list where I'm like, I want to go out with After the Burial. Yeah. I want to go out with Veil Maya. Like,
dude, it was sick. I was at I forgot last year they came here to Empire. After the Burial.
Yeah.
And my buddy had hit me up. He's like, do you want to go see After the Burial? I was like, yeah, let's go see it. He hit me up like a month before it happened. And then like he's like, oh, I can't make it. And then I was like, oh, no worries. And then I totally forgot about it. And I walk out of Creek in the Cave one day, and they're just like playing like I just walk out. I forget what song it was.
Cursing Akaton or something.
And I'm just like, I know this. This like I was like, I walked out. I was like, I know this song, and I looked across, and I like walked, and I was just like standing there. I was like, "Oh shit!"
What song is that?
Yeah. And I was just like, "Oh fuck!" So I just sat there and standing in front of Creek, watching from like across the street. And I was like, "This is sick." And then I was standing there with Justin Essenmacher, and he walks out, and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "It's like, dude." He's like, "You know who this is?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Born of Osiris." He's like, or not Born. I was like, "It's After the Burial." And he's like, "I know." And he's like, we just stood there and watched for a minute. And then Charles Adam Jr. comes out, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" I was like, "Oh, we're just watching the show." And he's like, "You guys want to go watch it? I work for the Sister Club." And he just like walked us in. We stood there and watched for free for like, I stood there probably for like 40 minutes and watched him do like 5 or 6 songs.
I think that they are undefeated as the best live band. I think they're the best sounding, most fun, bouncy live metal band. Like, it's so much fucking fun.
And that's a huge thing that like my dad would always talk about when he would tell me about all the concerts he went and saw. And he was just like, it doesn't matter how much you like the band. If you see them live and they don't sound like the music that they play, like they're shit. Yeah. And so yeah, After the Burial has always been on point with sounding like just like it. And then
they're so good. It was so sad when Justin died. Their guitarist. It was so weird. He was like spouting off weird, like everyone's out to get me. Everybody's like writing these big manic paragraphs on Facebook, and then he like went missing. I don't know if you know about this or not, but he like went missing.
I'm really bad at that kind of stuff. Like I don't know the names of people in the bands that I like. I don't know the names of football players.
I'm not really that good with that kind of stuff either. But
I know the team.
Yeah,
I know. I'm like,
I know the band. I know the team.
Like some of my friends were just like, "Did you know that the lead singer of this band had a kidney operation when he was 14? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, what's that have to do with the music?
Did you know he's only had one testicle for the last 10 years?
Like, people get so into it, and I'm just like, they deep dive, and I was like, I've never been into. I was just like,
I feel like that will just, especially if you're like us and you have shit you're trying to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that. I've had moments where like I was following band guys too closely.
Yeah.
And like watching their success and like not paying attention to my own grind.
Yeah.
That gets so easy to get lost in that kind of shit.
Exactly. I feel the same way in comedy because people are like, "Oh, this person dropped a new special. Did you see it?" I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You almost can't be I've noticed my guy that I have to stay away from because I love him too much. Is Shane Gillis, dude. I think he's like my favorite comedian. Him and like Derek right now, I think are like my favorites. Yeah. And if I watch too much Gillis, like I'll start talking like him.
Yeah.
And it's like I gotta like I don't want that to affect my like because I'm trying to get started doing my own open mic stuff and like I've been doing that since December. And just trying to fucking navigate the path, figure it out, and I can't be influenced, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's so much easier to be influenced in stand-up, I feel like, than it is like in metal. Like when I mean what I mean by that is like to like accidentally start like doing things the way that other people, because it's just talking and like saying certain things in a certain way.
Yeah, and I get that because I mean, I got a lot of Mitch Hedberg and Anthony Jeselnik vibes because that's who I grew up watching like over and over again. I love them. That's the style of comedy I like, but I get compared to those guys a lot. But now I'm still trying to the good thing about working at the club is you just see so many comics go up in different styles and just learning and just learning from what they do and just watching how they do it and change things and just be comfortable and
slight tweaks.
I mean, that's all it really is, like, until you have it down. And so I mean, that's why they say you just got to get the reps in. It doesn't matter if you eventually, I mean,
that's what we were talking about last night. Like, we both went up and like ate a big heaping warm serving of shit at the Lucky Duck, and it was like, like if that was a metal show and like he's a guitarist, I was like, if that was a metal show and you broke a string halfway through a song and you're on your knee fixing a string for that whole song, you're going to think about that shit for months and it's going to bug you for months. But it's like if you go up on an open mic and you're rushing your jokes and like people are fucking not laughing or not paying attention to you, you just kind of chalk it up to like, at least I got up,
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't think about it as much. I mean, you'll still think about it for that a couple days, but then the next time you get up, you'll do something different to avoid that happening again. And whatever you did to adapt to that, that's what it is. That's the little tweaks. That's the growth. And then, like you said, that's a little different. You might be thinking about that one show at a metal show, but at the open mic, you're like, it only feels bad until you do another one and it makes you feel better.
Or until the next guy goes up and eats it just as hard.
Yeah, but that still doesn't make you feel better about it. I mean,
it just makes you maybe feel a little bit less bad. You're like, okay, everybody's kind of like dealing with the same struggle here. You know what I mean? Which is pretty rad. Yeah. But you don't have to go to mics as much anymore because you're doing.
Honestly, I mean, when I first started, like, I would say the first 5 years I'd hit open mics constantly. And then I started thinking about like quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Because it would suck. Let's say you hit two. For me at least, it was like I'd go to Bakersfield and I'd be able to hit maybe 2, maybe 3 mics in one night. You go up and you have one mic that's really good and the other 2 are just kind of whatever, but you want your reps. You go and you murder the first mic, you feel really great for 20 minutes until you go do the next mic, and then you bomb and you're like, fuck. It's like mountains and valleys, dude. And then a lot of my friends out here would do that too. They would like go have like a couple really good sets, but then they would be like, I gotta hit this 1:30 a.m. open mic at this coffee shop that no one's gonna be at. And it's like, why? Stage time, man. I was like, nobody's there. Like, why are you going? Like, you're just gonna feel bad. Like, so I've always been like quality over quantity, but and also it also depends on if I have anything new. Like if I have new stuff that I really need to work on and work it out, like I'll force myself to go up and do them. It doesn't matter if there's one person in the audience or not. But if I don't have anything new and I'm just tweaking stuff, like I usually don't sign up. I'll go hang out and support and be friend and just do the hang, because that's the other 50% of the job is like
that's what I like the most about it.
Yeah,
I haven't reached a point where I felt like I have done like a great set or anything. I did do Zach Black put me on my first like little show. Nice. And I got my first little 5-minute spot, and that felt good after doing mics for like 6 months, because I was like,
no, it feels so much better.
Because they don't hate me.
Yeah,
it's cool.
They're there to laugh.
Yeah,
they paid for this. It's
way different.
It's way different than showing up to a place where everyone's like, we're drinking at this place. Yeah, they have an open mic tonight.
It's like running with weights on.
Yeah,
like at the open mic, and you take them off, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh, I can run.
Yeah,
I'm fast.
I'm quick. But what constitutes like a good mic? Like, is that just the amount of people?
No, it's just the quality of the people listening. I mean, I've gone to places and had great times with 2 people in the audience.
Right?
Because the thing is when you go up and there's just 2 people in the audience, like my roommate Matt Amos, actually, also funny, very funny comic and metalhead. He's very funny.
We should all hang out and listen to metal.
Yeah. He instilled it to me a few years ago. He's like, when there's only like 2 people in the audience, go even harder.
Yeah.
Go as hard as possible, because those 2 people will remember it.
Yeah. And, they'll tell somebody.
And they might tell somebody, but at least you gave your all for those 2 people, and they'll appreciate that.
That's the same for like metal shows. Like when you're a new band on tour and like nobody's coming out to your show on a Tuesday night.
Yeah,
that's the rough thing about tour, is like you have to book a show any night you can, but there's nights that are objectively bad for show. Like Monday we always seem to hit Orlando, Florida on like a Monday.
Yeah.
And we play the same bar, and like it's a bar where like old people smoke inside and play lottery all day long. And then at the end of the night, it turns into a metal show. They kick the fucking old tweakers out, and they bring in like the metal kids and stuff. And like I don't think anybody really likes that place because it smells like cigarettes in there and shit. And like it's just, and that we've always played for
a metal fan, just like from back in the day. It smells like cigarettes.
I've talked about it.
I mean, I don't like cigarette smoke either.
I don't either, but it's like it's gotten so soft. The whole metal thing's got. That's why I was like, dude, I wanted to have you on the show, but I'm like, and even next year when I have you do it, it's like, dude, the kids might be too soft for my boy. But I know, let's let them have it. You got to put some hair on their chest, dude.
I'll come back on it. I'll come back on sooner than a year. We'll just make it an annual thing. Me, you, and Ridley just sit here and talk shit.
Oh, I'm down, dude.
It'll be fun.
We'll have our own little fucking.
Yeah, we do that kind of on our podcast with me, Mason Smith, and Jackson Fagundes on our High Noon podcast.
I want to meet those guys. You guys are funny.
Yeah, they're great. But we do like the same thing Joe does with the Protect Our Parks, where we just get together. But Mason's a disgusting human being that farts and burps constantly, so we just called it Protect Our Farts. And
Protect Our Farts.
Yeah, we get to call people online like, it's just you're just copying Rogan. It's like, dude, well, you obviously don't know us or watch the podcast to know why that's funny for Mason to be disgusting.
And it's like, if you really want to think of it that way, anyone doing a podcast is low key, copying Rogan, but not really. It's like people can pave the way and inspire people to do things without you just like ripping them off.
Yeah, and it's not, and we're not copying anything from the show other than like it's the name, and we're literally those episodes are us just goofing off, hanging out. No interviews. It's just
how many of those have you guys done?
I think we're at like 4 or 5 now, maybe 4.
Of the High Noon?
Oh, the High Noon, no. Well, Mason started it during COVID in Boston with another comic by the name of Andrew Vickers, and they were just doing audio only. Okay. And then when I moved here, I met Mason. He invited me to come and do it, and I did it. And like he just kept inviting me to come do it because every time I was on it, we would have a really good time.
Yeah.
And then he asked me to come do it like consistently, and I was like, I'll come do it consistently, but we gotta do like video. We need content for this. Like, let's make this go. And so I think video wise, I think we have maybe like 20 or 30 episodes out that are videos. Then we got like 9 more in the bank right now. We record every week, so I mean, we just try and keep it going so we can stay consistent. But it's fun. It's slowly growing. Like we just started the YouTube stuff and getting up there. So. And
then you have your own thing that you do. Or have you been doing it less?
Well, me and Jackson have another podcast, just the two of us. So I have a podcast with Jackson and I have a podcast with Mason, and then we get together and bring the two together.
Are you not doing the coffee with Nick anymore?
I haven't done it in a while. I don't know. I feel kind of burnt out on it. Yeah. I really liked it when it was only like 30 seconds long, but then like.
What was the premise of that?
I moved here and had no friends. And I needed content because all the comics out here had content coming out weekly. I needed people to see me and know that I was here and know who I was. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, I could do this. I drink coffee every day. And it started off with, it was just going to be me in front of the window. Like the first episode was just me out the window looking while we're just during the freeze during winter. Excuse me. I'm trying not to burp into the mic because that's what we do on our podcast. And
it's okay.
I did it one time at somebody else's podcast, not even thinking about it. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm sorry. That's my
what
bad.
A pussy.
Who
cares?
It was a lady.
Oh.
But I mean, what was I saying?
You can burp in this fucking mic, dude.
Yeah, I try not.
This is our room.
I know.
I can't
let Mason influence me that much. What was I saying? Yeah, I just got burned out on it. But I was like, let me do this. I did 2 episodes that were just me, and they were 30 seconds long. And then like I had I forget who asked to be the first guest. Like, can I be your guest? And I was like, sure. And then I invited them on, put that episode out. It was funny, and people liked it. And then all the open micers that I would meet, they were like, oh, I'd love to come have some coffee. And it was just a good way to like have people come over and see if I want to be friends with them or not. Because
it was basically just homie auditions.
I mean, to a degree, yeah. I was like,
I'm bummed I never got my spot, dude.
Dude, I mean,
bring it back. I want to audition.
You already passed.
Yes.
I wouldn't be here if you weren't.
I know, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so I was just like, and it was a good way because it was low stress. Because when you ever do a podcast with someone you don't know, there's a lot of stress on that.
It is kind of weird, yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like, is this gonna be fun?
Even
do I want to
even
really
today,
talk to
like I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
But
we built up a rapport. We see each other, and like we.
I knew it was gonna be chill, but at the same time, there was that like, I don't know the guy super well, so it's like. But I could only imagine if you're a complete stranger. Yeah. I think I have a couple of those maybe coming on, so
Yeah, so it's just a little different. No, so we would film for 5 minutes, and then we would just hang out at my house and have coffee, and we'd talk bullshit. And everybody wanted that on camera, and I was like, I don't want that on camera.
Yeah,
I want
the first 5.
I want the first 5. I want the awkwardness of it. It's like
cool.
Drinking coffee with cars meets Between Two Ferns. It's just something dumb to do, and I didn't think anybody would like it as much as they did.
I forget about Two Ferns. Yeah. Galifianakis might be one of the most underrated goats of our time. Like that stand up of him at the Purple
Onion was incredible.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
It's so good.
What the fuck? Where is he right now? Just caking off that hangover money?
Dude, he don't need shit. He doesn't need any money for that.
Dude. What's that hangover money like?
I don't know, dude.
Holy shit.
It's crazy.
I can't wait for your first movie, dude.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
I have a script idea.
You really think Hollywood's going to pick me up with the shit I say? Like, I don't know, dude.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like there's about to be a new train of these big movies coming out, like with the success of Bert's movie. Like it seems like silly comedies might make a comeback.
They might, but also there's still, they'd have to be independently produced. Warner Brothers
costs money.
Dude, I said faggot on Kill Tony. Like, they're not gonna let me on. Yeah. They're not gonna let me on ABC. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know though. Aren't they looking at Kill Tony for like America's Got Talent and shit and like fucking?
They're not looking at Kill Tony. The people that go on there also apply for that and stuff. Okay. So like Lucas McCrary went to go do it. And
Lucas is so funny.
He's so funny.
Please tell him about this. So if it goes well, or if you like it, have fun. I would love to have him. He's so silly.
Yeah, he's great. But not to talk out of turn, but he went and just from the stuff he told me during when they were talking to him, they wanted him to act a certain way that wasn't who he was.
At America's Got Talent?
Yeah, for the interview process, I'm hoping I'm not speaking out of turn, but from just the gist of it, it's they wanted they wanted to ask him leading questions to for him to answer a certain way to make the so people weird. Portray him as kind of a nervous, kind of nerdy guy, and that's not Lucas.
No,
Lucas
he's
confident as
fuck. Yeah.
So I don't know. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn for it, but that was kind of the gist I got.
And so he was like, I don't like that. Then, it wasn't that cool.
And that America's Got Talent, they just want.
It's so plastic.
They want feel good. They want feel good stuff.
Yeah. Aaron, perfect for it.
Yeah.
He's funny too. He's kind of wild. Yeah, it's just shtick, but it's
cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Different.
But then also I know my buddy Alex Hooper, who was just here in town. He's in Houston tonight performing, but he was just here. He went on. He's got one of the largest viewed America's Got Talents
really
out there, because he's the guy who went out there and just for his jokes just roasted every single judge.
That's awesome.
He got him eliminated. He just pissed them all off and got eliminated, but he just went out there and roasted them.
When are those mainstream media companies gonna realize that it's better now at this point to invest in raunchy or like the stuff that you're not supposed to say on national television is what's gonna get new views and what's gonna get how do you get guys like us to tune into America's Got Talent every fucking week? If you had fucking awesome funny comics on there and it felt more like a Kill Tony, anything could happen. But
the funniest thing that I've seen lately on that is there's this guy, I think his name is Vigo. I can't remember. Maybe it's Vigo Vaughn. I'm probably butchering it, but he went up. Apparently he's a comedian. I haven't seen him stand up, but what he did to go and he won Britain's Got Talent or something like that. Or just went all.
They're feisty out there though.
Yeah, but he went out and he goes out in a neon yellow construction vest, and the song "One More Time" is playing. Door just opened. Is one more time, and every time it says one more time, he rips off his construction vest, and there's another construction vest underneath it. He does it a bunch of times, and I don't know why I found it so fucking funny.
I think I saw that.
And I started following him, and it looks like he's doing really well. He's posting some stuff. I sent him a message hey man, this is the dumbest, funniest thing I've ever seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And he wrote me back. He's like, oh, thanks, man. I was like,
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I was like, that dude's so funny. I know. I posted on mine. I saw it. I posted it on my story.
He just has a million of those vests on.
The vests on. It's just it's so dumb, but
it's like
so
a Family Guy joke.
It's
just
over
you
over.
Repeat it enough times, it starts to get funny. Tony, I think my keys are in the office if you want to lock that door. Yeah. We usually keep it locked.
Nice.
Sorry about that.
I don't care. I was just who's coming in?
Dude, nobody's supposed to be coming in here. We got a Glock under the table. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
do you have guns?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I have an AR and a Glockski. Nice. I want to get another one, like a little concealed thing to, you never know. Yeah. Shit gets wild. But yeah, I'm also like very.
Get some. I don't have any.
I didn't grow up having guns. My parents were always like, which is weird because my parents were like in the army. Like my dad went to Desert Storm. My mom shot bazookas and grenade launchers and in basic training, outranked my dad in the army.
Yeah.
And she was a private and she was a sergeant and he was a private.
Okay.
And but it was like we were a no gun household. Like my parents didn't want me around that, which makes sense. I mean, kids fucking, my parents are gone. You want to see my parents' gun, or like that's all those horror stories, that's how people get killed.
1990s commercials.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Keep your kids away from guns.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I remember when I got guns, I was like, Mom, I got a gun. And she's like, is this fun for you? Is this fun for you? You can tell me that you got, because you're an adult, you can do what you want. Is this fun for you? And to torture me like this? And I was like, Mom, it's fine. Like I'm a very responsible gun owner. Like we go to the range. We don't keep our finger on the trigger.
Don't worry, Mom. The barrel's a little too big for my mouth.
Exactly. I can't get my mouth around the whole thing. It's fun. What about you? You have guns?
I don't have any guns. No.
Come on, boy. You live in Texas.
My stepdad died, and he left. We have like his guns in the safe back home, but I haven't registered them in my name or anything.
You like shooting at all?
Yeah, it's fun. I've been shooting.
I'll take you to the range.
Yeah, I've never shot an AR, but I've shot in like shotguns and rifles and handguns and all.
I really want to get. There's a gun called a Mossberg Shockwave, the shotgun, and it's like basically like the Terminator 2, like pistol grip. Shotgun, pump shotgun, I'm like, dude, I want one of those. Those are so fun.
I want to get a shotgun. I want to get a rifle, and I want to get a handgun. Just get good at like shooting and just. I don't know. It's fun to go. They're definitely fun.
Have you ever shot metal targets? That's the most fun. Dude.
No, I shot like clay pigeons.
Yeah,
and,
that's fun too.
Paper targets and stuff like that. We'd go out into the woods. My buddy has a spot that he knows these people have this property where it's just like we're empty for miles. So we'd like throw clay pigeons off like the side of this cliff.
What's your shot like?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. I think I missed.
Gunslinger.
I don't think I missed. Last time I went shooting was probably 6 years ago, but I don't think I missed any clay pigeons.
Oh yeah, the ones that you've shot when they shoot them up in the air and they're like pull or whatever. You've done that. See,
we didn't have the pull machine. My buddy actually had. You know how like dogs have that tennis ball thrower, that stick. Yeah. They have that for clay pigeons.
Oh, okay.
Them out. That's what we do. A pull.
I've never shot a moving target like that before. I don't think I could.
Well, I mean, it's a shotgun. It sprays. But,
that's true.
So it's not. I mean, even if one BB hit it, it's gonna break. You could flick those things and just bust the center out of them.
Do you like living in Texas more than California, or do you miss living in California?
I miss my friends and family.
Yeah, same.
There's more to do here.
Ton more to do.
The heat, it just sucks. I mean, but you get over it and you just deal with it.
Yeah, and it doesn't suck until like right now. And I think usually this is an unusually hot summer. I think from what I've heard from people
last
last two have been really hot.
Last time it didn't get cold till December, or didn't get chilly until December. Didn't get cold till January. Yeah, last year.
What's the shit like? Is in Fresno? It's like
it's hot.
It's hot.
I mean, we'll have like every summer. I don't. It's weird. Like this year and last year's like record lows, and then this year in Texas and last year in Texas was like record highs. And it's like when I lived in Fresno, it was like every year was a record high. I don't think it's just me.
You're just hot, son. I'm just hot. It's hot. He's bringing the heat.
So love it. But I mean, we were back home and like even it got up to 100 one day. It was kind of hot, but it's different. It's dry. It doesn't hit you like this. Like it's just hot.
This is dry for Texas heat though. Like you go to Houston, it's like swamp ass.
Yeah, I mean I've had swamp ass all week.
We got swamp ass right now.
Swamp ass right now. I took a shower before I came over. Damn it. No, but yeah. So I mean, even my girlfriend who's lived here her whole life, she was over there and it's like 90 degrees, and she's like, it feels great outside. I was like, yeah, it's 90 degrees. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's 90 degrees. She's like, it's not 90 degrees like back home. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But it was very beautiful when we were there. I mean, it got cold. Like at night, it was in the 60s, and at the hottest day was like 100. But the most of the days were like right at 90, so we had a good time.
Yeah, it's funny how like the city here is there's so much fun shit going on that it's like worth living in the like dealing with the heat because it's just you can go inside and it's like but there's so much like fun shit going on.
Excuse me. To be fair, if comedy wasn't here, I would not live here at all.
Yeah,
I would not live here.
That makes
sense
at all. But you gotta.
Nah, I mean,
this is the spot.
It's the spot.
It's the spot.
Yeah. Like if I got here and before the club opened up and let's just say like it never opened and it fell through, I'd have immediately moved home.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, all right, or at least back to California, go to LA because it's open now, but that kind of sucks too. So
yeah. It seems like the whole shutdown thing, like living here, it seems like that. Like I want to live in a place where it's less likely to get shut down again or for as long if they try to pull some shit like that again.
Here's the thing: is when they shut everything down, deep down inside, I was hoping like half the population would die. I was like, "You're locking me down. Make this worth it."
Yeah, yeah.
Make this polio.
I remember
dude.
having that like thing. I was like, even if I'm one of them, like half the population needs to go.
Oh yeah, I don't care. I'm one of them. I mean, I know everyone else. I
got 50-50 chance.
Everybody always asks that question. In a zombie apocalypse, how long do you think you'd last? I was like, I'd be a zombie.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'd be dead.
Yeah.
They
have the easy job.
I got no guns. We live in a populated area. We're fucking dead.
You're not surviving that shit unless you're
Yeah.
What are you doing in the zombie apocalypse like to try to survive? What are you doing? Like what are you going to get like a Jeep? Are you going to get a Jeep like a big, you know what I mean? Like
well, I'm definitely not driving my 2-wheel drive truck around. Like,
yeah.
I'm finding somebody.
You're
like,
hot wiring something.
I'm finding something. Like something 4-wheel drive's got to go. I mean, I'll just start kicking doors in on houses and raiding for guns and ammo.
Did you watch The Last of Us?
I did. I enjoyed it. I never played
too.
The game, but
you should now that you've
now
that you've seen it.
I don't know. I'm just a first-person shooter guy. Like that. I play Call of Duty and Rocket League, and right now I've just been on this Call of Duty. We
gotta rip some game. I haven't been playing games at all.
I play with Michael all the time.
Really?
We play Warzone all the time. I just like because I played Call of Duty, but I would always play multiplayer.
Yeah.
I never played Warzone. And then just like a few months ago, when Michael and a couple of our other friends were on it, I actually had someone to play with because this whole time I lived out here, I didn't have a gaming system because I left it back home with my renter. I was like, you keep this. I don't need this in Texas. I have shit to do. So, and then when I got the job at Rogan's, I was like, I deserve to play video games again.
That's good though to use it as like kind of a reward system or like a way to like I've been grinding, so I'm gonna unwind. It is a good unwinder, but people get too wrapped up in it.
I'm not like crazy wrapped up in it. I'm not like one of those nerds that pay for like battle pass and like I pay to win or buy stuff on it. But like I'll play it and dude, all of a sudden 4 hours.
That seems like
went by
like a deep dark world of like to be one of those guys that's buying Fortnite skins all the time and like there's dudes out there.
I have to. That reminds me. I actually have to download Fortnite when I get home. Because I told my nephews back home that I would play with them.
Yeah.
Because like they're getting older. They're getting older now, and so now they play Fortnite, and like now they're getting into middle school. So like of course they're getting the pressure to play like Call of Duty with their friends. So their mom and dad are like letting them play. I was like, all right, cool. And I told them I was like, I'll send you. I was like, when I download Fortnite, I'll send you my name so we can play together.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, sweet. And I was like, And I told my god sister Devin, I was like, hey, when you see my gamer tag on their TV, or when Mark sees the gamer tag, just tell him it's me, because my gamer tag is for Call of Duty is Nick Nasty 666. And they're like,
Nick Nasty, dude.
Nick Nasty 666. And that was my old Xbox.
Sounds like a dirty uncle, dude.
That's my Xbox gamer tag. When we got the PlayStation, because of crossplay, I just signed into my Activision, so it's still under that. And my PlayStation handle is Nick Fitzwell. So I was like, I just went back. Let me just go back to
Nick Fitzwell.
Yeah.
That
was my Instagram handle for a long time, because I had Instagram before comedy.
Why Fitzwell?
It was a play on Dick Fitzwell.
Dick Fitzwell. Okay.
You know Nick Fitzwell. Dick
and
Fitzwell.
It's kind of like like a last name. Like it sounds like an Irish last name.
It's funny because like I had it for so long, and like people thought my last name was Fitzwell. Like people would book me that never met me before, and then be like on flyers it would say like Nick Fitzwell. After 10%, like that's not my name. Like my name is Nicholas Ceppaglia. You know, like. So I don't know. But it was fun,
dude.
We'll have to play though. I'm down to play.
I'm
probably gonna go home and play for a little bit after this.
I might download it again and play. I've kind of been jonesing to play, but I've also been like trying to get shit done, like you were saying. Just it's good to take breaks. I was doing I got into podcasting from doing Twitch because I was streaming on Twitch.
See, I need to learn. I want to learn how to do that because like part of me wants, since I play video games so much, I'm like maybe I should just Twitch it and stream. But I'm like I'm not gonna. They're just gonna see me doing this.
No, you'll get to the point where you're talking to people and you glance over at the chat and they're like, "What's up, Nick?" And you're like, "Yo, Nick Nasty 666, what's going on?" Like whoever the username is.
I'll have you come over to the house and help me set that up. And show me how to do it because I would love to do that. Because I also
you have a camera, right?
Yeah, I have a nice camera.
I have some stuff that I don't use anymore too because I don't stream. Like I have a capture card and like all that shit you need.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I would love that.
Do you have like a desk or are you? I play on my couch. See, that was my thing. Is that was why I kind of fucking hated it because it turned it into like a desk job for me. Where like the way if you want to do it like all the time, the best way to do it is to set up a desk, have your Xbox or whatever, and then like have your camera, webcam, and your microphone, and like sit there and be able to go boop and like start streaming, kind of like this is set up for podcasting, but like it took the fun away from it for me because my favorite thing about gaming is like sitting on the couch. I'm like I'm a diehard couch gamer. I hate
to cut you off, but I have to pee.
No, go for it.
Hold on, sorry.
We'll be right back, you guys.
We'll be right back.
We will be right back. Let's play with the soundboard, Tony.
Yeah?
Yeah, you got to memorize it. We should put stickers on it.
This is rim shot. There we go.
What color is that one?
That's like the light blue.
All right.
Yeah. Blue is the scary one.
I fucking love that one, dude.
Yeah, that was cool. It's this one. Okay, green is that one. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Give it up for Taylor Gorman.
Give it up for Tony Rincon. I love how Alden does the names at the open mics because he sounds like the strip club DJ.
He kind of does, yeah.
All right, everybody, get those dollar bills ready for Cinnamon coming to the stage. All right, everybody, keep your eyes peeled on the pole for Cherry Blossom. Yeah, exactly.
We got to get like one fart in here.
I know.
Just one.
We can program those, right?
Yeah, I think we could drop one in.
Nice
for next time.
We'll get some farts from Alden.
He's
the fart master.
Oh, yeah.
We should use this primo audio recording stuff to just
record our own farts?
Original farts, dude.
That might give people pink eye when they come do the
We can
podcast.
use one of these mics. We don't
we can use one of the house mics.
Yeah.
Don't use the house mics.
I love it. What do you think of the spot, dude? The new spot.
It's pretty cool.
It's chill.
It's very neat. I need something.
You can come. You can come here whenever you want.
All right.
You got the pass, bro.
Nice. We're all back.
And we're back.
He's learning the soundboard now.
Hell yeah! I had this whole thing of coffee. This whole thing. Yeah. That was
Oh, dude, I got a poop in my future. I got some fat pisses in my future.
That's good. Yeah.
It's gonna be crapping in pretty soon, dude.
Crapping in.
What
were we? We're talking about games. Yeah.
Talking about games. I was just saying that like for me the fun of gaming is like I don't want to sit in an office chair and like do this. Like sitting up, like I want to lounge on the couch. Like that's where I like played games when I was a kid. Like that's how I want to do it. And it's like that was a big reason why I couldn't keep doing the Twitch thing because it was like so grindy and it's like to make money on it. I was like seeing money coming in and I was like, oh, I could just like do this for income and work on my other stuff because I was making like a couple grand, a month. And I was
all
like,
I need is just that couple money.
But it's like, dude, 12 hours of gaming a day to get that 7 days a week. It's like, it's a lot of time.
That's a bit much.
It's so much time.
I would just do it when I'm on. Like I wouldn't change any aspect of how I play.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm on in the morning when I wake up. I play little games before I go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then at night when I get off and I can't sleep, I just like, I'll stay up from like 1 to like 4 a.m. just playing games. So
dude, that comedian schedule, that comedy club schedule has got to be wild. Just
it was a lot
so late.
Oh yeah, it was and plus when it was new, like it was just a lot because I mean like everyone's excited. We're all hanging out in Mitzi's afterwards, so we're drinking on top of that. Not getting home till like 3 a.m, waking up at 2, having to be at work at 5:30. It was rough. I'm just barely getting back to my routine, where I get up, I make coffee, like try and get out of bed before 10 or by 10:30 every day if I can. Go hit the gym.
Because you could sleep hard. You could sleep till
I'm
noon.
the laziest person in the world.
Really?
I can. I could live that Bobby Lee lifestyle.
What's his lifestyle? I don't know.
Where like he was talking about, like here he sleeps in, plays video games. Like I'm living that exact lifestyle right now.
Does he still? Do you think he still makes money off of Mad TV, like royalties or some shit? Like you think he still gets checks from like old shit that he used to do, or
He
like
definitely does.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know how that. I'm sure he does, to some degree.
Do you remember how fucking funny that shit was? Did you ever get into that?
I got it. I was really into the Mad. I was into the Mad magazine more as a kid, and then I watched it a little bit, and then but I would watch Saturday Night Live a little bit more.
They could never get away with that shit today. That Mad TV shit. Like Mrs. Swan.
Yeah, no.
You remember her?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You're like you could never get away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, it was great, man.
Classic, dude. I remember one of my favorite skits. You remember Will Sasso, like the big fat guy that like lost all the weight?
Yeah.
He did.
John Madden?
No, that was Frank Caliendo. And Will Sasso, though, he would do this repetitive bit where it was the Lance Bass show, Lance Bass from NSYNC.
Oh, yeah.
And they gave him like the spiky hair, and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm Lance Bass, and this is the Lance Bass show."
That's so
and
funny.
then they had Frank Caliendo played Rod Roddy from Price is Right, and he would go, "Lance Bass, come on down."
You mean Bob Barker?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Rod. No, I think he played Rod Roddy. I don't know who that is then. I don't. But it was like a talk show host that he was playing. I can't remember, but it was, God, it's like I'm trying to pull that out of the depths of my brain.
Yeah.
Like I was such a small child when I was watching that.
Yeah. Things that live in your brain rent free from childhood.
Dude.
The Cheers theme song.
See, I never watched Cheers.
I watched it as an adult later.
Give it to us. What is it?
It's just like,
is that the come and knock on our door?
no, that's the one where it's, everybody knows your name.
Oh, okay.
Da-na-na. But what it was when I was a little kid, and I was faking sick so I wouldn't have to go to school. Cheers came on at like 11:30.
The daytime Cheers.
The daytime Cheers would rerun at like 11:30, and I didn't ever watch it, but it was always on the TV and stuff. So like, if I heard that theme song, I knew I got away with it because it was too late for my mom to take me to school. You know, so I was like, yes, that theme song is like.
Was your mom the same way as mine, where like if you're too sick to go to school, then you're too sick to like play video games or like do anything fun? Because my thing was like if I stayed home from school, it was like I had to do nothing, and it was like it was like her gotcha, you know? I'd be like, okay, well I'm sick, I'm gonna play boop, and I would go turn the thing on, and she'd be like, you can't, you gotta go to sleep, you gotta.
Well, yeah, like I would just like lay in my bed, but I also had TV in my room my whole life, so it's like I would just lay in bed and watch TV and sleep. Like if I was faking sick, I would just like.
You skip school a lot.
No, but there's a kid. Every kid tries to fake being
You're a
sick.
little rascal, dude.
Mom, I'm sick. I don't want to go to school.
Yeah, the bullies.
Oh yeah.
Did you get bullied? People make fun of you?
I mean, people always make fun of everybody.
Did they call you like Nick Ceppaglia?
Oh yeah, 4th grade, dude.
That's such a
when
good
when they learned what that word meant, ooh, they was there, dude. I've had that nickname since the 4th grade.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah,
like
dude.
It's not as Gaylor Torman is pretty bad too.
Yeah, Gaylor Torman.
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, but I mean, I also like, I've moved schools like every 4 years. Like my parents just moved. They moved like different, just like. We kind of like moved out of like gradually moved into better neighborhoods. So like every 4 years I'd have to make new friends. So I mean I was always that kid at school that could sit at every lunch table, but I didn't have a lunch table of my own, like with like close homies until I started skating and got into like high school, and then I had like my skate friends. But all my skate friends were a year or two younger than me. Like nobody in my grade skated to the level of like that we were skating. So it's like I just hung out with, I either hung out with like the kids that were like the year or two older than me, or a year or two younger than me. I never really like I didn't really make a lot of good connections with people my own age and like in my own grade and stuff back in high school and stuff. But
older, you said?
Yeah, because like I went to my freshman year. I went to a school in Oakhurst, California called Yosemite, and it had like 1,000 kids in that school, and I would hang out with like the sophomores and juniors because they were the punk rock kids. Yeah. And then my sophomore year, they finished building the school by my house that my parents were waiting for me because we moved out to the country, and there was a brand new school. So when that school opened, it was a 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade.
Weird. And that's a weird range.
Yeah, and then the next year they opened up junior, and then the year after that they opened up senior. So I was like a senior for 3 years basically. I was like too. I didn't really have any like bullies, like bullies, except for like freshman year where kids would just like razz you. It wasn't even like a bully. It was just like kids razz and pick, just kids being kids. It wasn't. No one stole my lunch money. No one fucked with me every day or anything like that. So I never really had any bullying going on, but I was also. I
think jock kids just called me gay all the time. That was like the most bullying I ever really, because I was in the like tight pants, scene kid, metal kid.
I did all that.
We were the pole kids. There was like a pole
wearing
in the middle
jeans
of the hallway.
Before skinny jeans were out.
Yeah, I never wore girl jeans. I just wore skinny. I was late to the game. I think I was always trying to like, kind of like fit in with some of those people. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like when you're young and you're like, oh, they're cool. Like, I don't know. And then it just kind of.
It's so funny, too, because if you went back there now, like as an adult to that same year and saw those same kids, you'd be like, these fucking losers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so weird what you think is cool when you're younger, and then when you get older, you're like, oh, man, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so embarrassed.
And then you realize how cool you are now. Yeah. You're like, fucking, I'm so cool, dude.
Pretty neat. I actually had a friend from high school just hit me up the other day. I haven't seen him since we graduated, but he was like a good friend of mine growing up.
That's always weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because like as soon as he turned 18, he like joined the military, got pregnant, and like bounced. I never saw him again. Never heard of him.
So he's trans?
No. But he lives in Alaska now. He's got like 4 kids and paratrooper and stuff. So
Alaska.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, you live in Alaska? That's tight. But he hit me up and we chatted up. It was cool. Like, and then but other than that, like people like Facebook and Instagram that follow me and stuff like that, they're always like, oh, I'm liking and doing this. But I mean,
it's weird, like the people that creep you silently from high school, like from your graduating class. I don't know if you have any of these, but like there's a bunch of like friends, like people that I grew up with that I never really was like friends with in high school, and maybe even some people that were like not the coolest to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or like,
and they see you out doing shit, and they're
like, yeah, and they're like, I
gotta go to my 9 to 5 and feed these 3 kids.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm out here fucking living that Peter Pan life, dude.
Yeah,
running around in green tights, fucking
doing it,
not growing up, refusing to grow up.
Peter Pan's Island's it's Epstein's Island. Rewatch Peter Pan, dude.
No.
Rewatch it.
No.
Nah, dude.
I don't want.
Peter Pan is Epstein, dog.
No.
He's trying to keep all his kids to himself.
Neverland.
Neverland, dude. You're never going home.
Why do you think Michael named his fucking Neverland Ranch? Right?
I don't know, dude.
Woo. Dude, Michael Jackson's the fucking. That was wild. I heard some that documentary with him with like the kid. Then I spread my butt cheeks.
Oh yeah.
As he masturbated, and you're just like. You want to stop watching it, but you have to keep watching. How much of that do you think is legit?
I think it's all legit.
Yeah, it's probably all legit.
Yeah, why would it not be?
Except for his death. That was strange.
Oh,
the fucking like doctor just gave him some like drugs and killed him and was like then like 6 hours later he's like, Michael's not waking up.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah. Even professionals fuck up.
No, dude. Yeah.
And you got to remember, like, that's Michael Jackson money, dude. Like, that dude was probably
if anybody could keep pedophilia under wraps, MJ could.
Dude, I saw an old interview with that dude. He's just wild.
Have you seen the conspiracy theory about? Fuck, man, I wish we had the TV set up so bad. Have you seen the conspiracy theory thing about? There's a guy named Dave. Mm-hmm. Have you seen this thing?
Mm-mm.
So like, there's this dude who is a burn victim. So the conspiracy is that Michael Jackson was never the same after the Pepsi incident, right? Where he like burned himself really bad or whatever.
On fire.
Yeah. And
his soul glow caught on fire.
Yeah. and so this guy who's like really close friends with Michael Jackson apparently, and they have the same family lawyer as Michael Jackson or whatever. After Michael Jackson like died, they went on this interview with like some talk show host, and this guy sounds they play like the voices in these conspiracy videos, which is like, it's just fun, it's like armchair conspiracy theory shit, but it's like, it's fun to think that like maybe that original Michael Jackson was that Dave guy, because it like looks like it could be him, and he talks the same way, and his face is like totally fucked up and burned, and he like wears sunglasses and I think like a mask maybe even kind of thing, and it's like, and the lawyer was like, we're here to say me and this random burn victim are here on this talk show to like clear Michael Jackson's name. That was like and it was like the weirdest fucking interview, but maybe he's still out there, dude. Maybe not the Michael Jackson, not the white. Maybe
that white woman clone was the one that was a pedophile.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and they were trying to go out there and clear the name. Like, Michael's not really. I knew Michael very, very well.
I knew him very well.
It's so weird. You got to watch the Dave thing. Fuck, I wish we could pull that up. Man, we'll get the TV figured out. But, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, conspiracy theories.
Oh, conspiracy theories, dude.
Times. It's 2:30.
What's your favorite one? If you had to pick one. Which one? Let me rephrase it. Which one you think has the most legs? Like, what's the most believable one?
9/11 was an inside job. I think that was the most believable one.
Could you have any more facts?
Yeah.
To prove that point?
No.
And I was talking to Yonder about this. I feel like the COVID thing, they're like, look, people are going to treat that. Like, everyone treats 9/11 as like, we all kind of know.
Yeah.
But we're all also, if you're too into it, they're like, you're weird, you're a conspiracy theory. So you have to find this middle ground where you're like, probably was fucking kind of sketchy. But then like, and I feel like everybody's kind of treating it like they're low key starting to treat the whole COVID thing like that.
I think COVID was just a controlled experiment to see how well they can control the masses.
Probably.
Social experiment. So when they really do it in the next 10 years, we can go into a dictatorship.
Not here, brother. Not in Texas. Yeah. I'd like to see a motherfucker try.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They'll just turn the weather machines on and freeze us out.
Holy shit, dude.
They control all of it.
Dude. Do you think they're? Do you think that they're tactfully canceling Lizzo right now? Do you think she knows too much about something? Do you think that they're? You think they're? This is a hit job.
I just think that's good karma,
dude.
For all the shitty music we've had to listen to.
Nothing could be funnier than what's happening with her right now.
That's so funny.
It is so hilarious. And I know, like,
I've heard so many good jokes about it too. Like, my favorite one so far was like this comic. I don't know. I think he's at the Cellar, but it's I don't know his name, but he said something, and the punchline was just like Lizzo knows what a banana is. Something like that. I was just like,
I was trying to write one too, like nobody thought bananas were gonna take that bitch down. Like, of all the things, like.
I know.
Like, you probably would need, like, 2 horse tranquilizer darts to put her down. Probably. You know what I mean? But a banana's what's taking her career out.
Yeah, she's a big bitch.
I'd like to see her Yas Queen her way out of this one, you know?
I just hope it
is the Yas Queen movement dying now with this?
I don't know.
Yas Queen.
I saw this one video. It was so funny. It's this guy, this young black kid. He was walking around with a pride flag, and he's like, it's so funny what you can get away with if you're gay. And he went up to like these girls. He's like, yes, bitch. And they're like, yes. And then he went up to another person. It's like, yes, queen. And then he went up to this black dude. It's like, yes, you bitch ass. Like, and call him, and just, you bitch ass Nicholas.
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's so funny.
Was it a white guy or a black?
No, it was a black dude. It was a little black kid, but it was just like, you can get away with anything. He's just basically calling people bitches to their face and shit. That one's really good.
I think Lizzo and Bud Light should team up for the PR comeback of the year, because like Lizzo is doing like some really Bud Light shit. Like, she's, she's making fun of saying mean shit to fat girls and making girls eat shit out of each other's pussy. That's pretty like, that's some dude shit.
You seen the Foster's cans? Foster's beer?
Yeah.
The big ones?
Yeah.
That'd be funny if Bud Light made those for Lizzo.
That is awesome. Yes.
That would be great. Just the big fat ones like Lizzo, Bud Lights.
Yes, dude. The Lizzo Light.
The Lizzo Light, dude. That's hilarious. Dude.
Be good. Yeah, that shit is funny. I can't believe she's I wonder how much of this shit's true though, and how much of it is just like she pissed off one of these girls and they were like, let's get some money out of this bit. You remember Amsterdam? Let's get some money out of this.
Let's get some money.
Let's team up and get some fucking.
Let's get some money. Shit. It's 2:30.
It's 2:30. How long have we been going, Tony?
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour and a half? Let's call it, Nick.
Let's call it. Yeah, I do. So I got to get back to my other place by 3.
Plug your shit.
check me out on Instagram and TikTok at _ Nicholas Ceppaglia, YouTube Nicholas Ceppaglia. Check out the High Noon podcast at High Noon _ pod. Check out the New School Old School podcast on my YouTube page. Just come to the mothership.
Come to the mothership. You might see your boy.
Yeah, come to the mothership.
You ever do bottom of the barrel over there sometimes? Have you done that yet?
They let me do it once. I got a lot of bad suggestions. I had fun, but it was just kind of hard.
Yeah. It seems like a different muscle.
Also, they had a guest host, and I don't think that host removed the suggestions from the show before. So I was pulling it out with all these names on it. And I was like, "Who's Mary?"
Right, and nobody was in the crowd.
So I couldn't work. It was. I don't know. I definitely want to do it again, have some more fun with it. But yeah, it's nice. I think I've done almost every. I've done every show that they have. I've done almost every show that they do put on in Little Boy, with a couple exceptions.
Yeah.
Like I've done all the. I've done showcases. I've done Bottom of the Barrels. I've done Holtzman's Heroes. I haven't done Christina or Tom and Friends. I haven't done Solid yet, but
I can't seem to. I was there watching Ron White, and Segura was doing Bottom of the Barrel in the other room. It's like I can't see him. I've tried. I can't. He's so elusive. I can't.
Just let me know when next time he comes.
Well, I might come by and see you tonight. You're closing tonight. Mm-hmm. At what time?
I'll be going on at
late 12, show.
10. Yeah. It's
perfect.
10:30 show, but I'll be going.
I'll text you or something. See if I can pop by.
Let me know. I'll bring you with you. Have you come in.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on the pod, dude.
Thanks for having me.
I'm stoked.
Again.
We did it. I'm stoked that you're. God damn it! You have to shut that one off halfway through because it's so fucking long. I'm stoked that you're killing it, and it just seems like fucking graph chart emoji. Everything's going
slowly
up.
But surely. I think it's more. I think it's more of a.
Yeah,
a rise like this.
That's the good rise.
That's the good rise.
That's how you know you're gonna stay on the top once you get there, baby.
We'll get there.
Well, yeah, keep crushing, buddy. Nick Ceppaglia, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
Gaylor Torman, everybody.
Gaylor Torman.
GORCAST.